This is a Fox News alert. An emergency meeting tomorrow at the White House. President Barack Obama, Speaker of the House John Boehner, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Can they make a deal, or can they do their jobs, or is this just more political drama?
We wanted an agreement.
It's the countdown to midnight, the start of a new year.
We're going over the cliff because, frankly, I believe it's what the president wants.
The American people are waiting for the ball to drop, but it's not going to be a good drop.
But we had no takers.
Every Democrat, every Republican ought to be here.
The phone never rang.
They should negotiate a real plan. They shouldn't have the minor plan. They should have the big plan.
Now here we are, 5 days from the new year, and we might finally start talking.
The Republicans are sitting there with a nuclear weapon. They have debt ceiling coming up. They can use that as part of this negotiation.
What's going on here?
The president called me and probably called others last night. My impression is he would like to see if we can move forward.
You can't legislate with yourself.
The breaking news of the moment is that the House Republican leadership is calling its members back for Sunday evening, 6:30 Eastern time, to be here, to be available if there is a last-minute deal to avert the fiscal cliff. It is a positive sign that if congressional leaders do reach some type of deal, the House and Senate will be in town to get votes on the record.
Right now, the spending problem that we have in Washington, D.C. is affecting this country.
I hope that the Speaker and his Republican Party will be here with Democrats, working to finish the task before us and reaching an agreement to avert the fiscal cliff.
Senator John Barrasso says President Obama is eager to go over the fiscal cliff. Senator Barrasso joins us. Well, why do you say that?
Well, I think the president sees political victory at the bottom of the cliff in terms of the increased tax money coming in that he can spend for other programs. I think that he sees a lot of cuts to the military, which the Democrats have been after for a long time, and then he gets to do what he loves to do, which is blame Republicans. But my concern is that I actually see financial problems for our nation at the bottom of the cliff, and that's why I want to get a solution. Well,
so tomorrow, do you think that it's going to be the beginning of, at this emergency meeting at the White House, is it the beginning of a deal? Or is it a political drama? Well, my concern is it may just be a political charade by the president and Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi. I hope it actually is the beginning of a deal, because if we don't get it done now, we need to go make sure that things get done so we don't raise taxes, and taxes aren't raised for all these Americans who are looking at it come January 1st. So why did he fly all the way back from Hawaii and cut his vacation short if he's eager to go over the cliff? Is that part of his charade? Well, if he wants to actually blame other people for his lack of leadership here, then he has to appear at least to be coming back to find a solution. But if the president was really interested in the level of the debt we have in this country, the $16 trillion, we would have had a budget pass the Senate sometime in the last 3 years. He proposed a budget, Greta. None of the Democrats even voted for it. It got 0 votes and 97 people voted against it. I don't think the president is focused where we ought to be focused, which is the spending. We have a spending problem. He's focused and actually fixated on tax rates, which only give you about 7 days of what the government spends. You know, he didn't get any votes on his budget, or not very many, but I will give him credit for at least submitting one. It's more than Senator Harry Reid has done on behalf of the Senate Democrats. I mean, the Senate Democrats have not proposed a budget, and I don't know if the House Republican budget is such a good idea, but unless everyone puts a budget on the table, there can't be any discussion. So Senator Harry Reid, in effect, has a pocket veto on the process, on the budget. And realistically, that's not within the law. The law says that the Senate has to pass a budget. Congress has to pass a budget every year. But Harry Reid has chosen not to bring a budget year after year after year, which says to me that you're just not committed to dealing with the major problem of the country, which is the spending. Well, it's sort of interesting, though, is that, you know, Nevada elects him. That's their choice. But the rest of the country is held hostage to him not doing this. I mean, people in my home state of Wisconsin, if they don't like Senator Harry Reid as a majority leader, there's nothing they can do. I guess they can put pressure on their senators, but I mean, on any state can put pressure on senators. But for the most part, is that Senator Harry Reid is in a very powerful position. Well, I think he's taking orders, though, from President Obama. This is time for the President of the United States to lead. There is only one person that has the pen who can sign into law the law preventing us from going over the cliff. And if the president actually wanted to get it done, he would tell Harry Reid and others that this is what we had to do, and he would make
the arrangement to make sure we didn't go over the cliff.
Well,
so I think Senator Reid is just playing the role.
All right, you say that he's eager to go over the cliff because he gets his revenue, he gets his cuts, and
blame Republicans.
And he can blame Republicans. But the problem is that many economists say that if we do go over the cliff, I don't know if this is true or not, but many economists at least are saying it, is that we're going to go into a recession or back into one.
Yeah, the president seems so fixated on increasing tax rates that I think it's kind of confusing him as to all of the other issues that are out there, which is the spending. It's not a tax problem. The problem is that we spend too much. The only way to get out of this, $16 trillion debt that we have, is to grow the economy and do reforms to the entitlement programs, to Medicare, to Social Security, to Medicaid. Those are the tidal waves that are coming at us, and we got to make sure that we save and protect those programs for future generations.
Senator, thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.